Good day everyone, Complaining Gamer here. Imagine this. You're a gentlemanly pirate going about your pirate day. Perhaps you're in a bit of a rush because the latest Nintendo 3DS title has just been released and it needs freeing from its corporate masters immediately, and you're the person for the job until Captain Mario comes along out of the blue and slams your dreams into oblivion. Well, this is pretty much the narrative for a lot of 3DS lovers who previously found somewhat creative ways to get their grubby mitts on said games. Whether you dump your games legitimately or find intriguing ways to obtain that which your heart desires, the latter has been made nearly redundant, at least through convenient methods. If you understood nothing that I just said, then let's get simple. The Nintendo CDN, also known as the Content Delivery Network, has been heavily clamped down on regarding 3DS titles due to additional security measures. This means easy access to the majority of titles is no more. You may find specific titles obtainable, but first-party games will have a high probability of no longer being downloadable. Rather than take my word for it, let's refer to a much more detailed technical explanation of the situation by user Shuri and Astronaut Level in a thread titled Free Shop, CI Angel and other CDN reliant services will no longer work with many games. Quote, on July 30th, Nintendo sent out the 11.8 3DS software update. The update, while seemingly standard at first glance, actually managed to break support for Luma 3DS, Cakes FW, Rysix and other popular 3DS custom firmwares, though fixes were issued within the same day. This wasn't the only change made, as Nintendo also changed the way that the 3DS detects pirated copies of games, as well as how certain programs like Free Shop, CI Angel, 3DS Villain, Wii U USB Helper and others handle downloading titles. Now, a much more stringent method is in place requiring a check of source when you try to download a game with it. The change that's being discussed is a change in the NIM module on the 3DS. NIM is the service which is responsible for downloading applications through the Nintendo CDN. It's the service which is used by the eShop to download and install games. Before 11.8, NIM only sent the title key to the CDN in order to verify that the download was allowed. Think of title keys as a sort of password for the CDN. If you had the right title key, you could always download the game. This is also why you could download games on a computer. There was no console specific information sent, and thus the CDN didn't check what was downloading. As long as you sent the title key, the CDN sent the game. Let's make sure we all understand what a ticket is. A ticket is a piece of data that's stored on your 3DS that is used by the 3DS operating system to determine which games you own. The ticket consists of three main parts: the signature data, console specific data, and the title key. The entire ticket is signed by Nintendo, so it's impossible to replicate these tickets. If they're changed or if someone tries to make their own ticket, the changed/new ticket will have an invalid signature. This means the ticket is what we call an invalid ticket. Before 11.8, only the 3DS console checked the signature of the ticket. This is why you need custom firmware to install CIAs. The ticket's signature is invalid, and the custom firmware patches out the signature check the 3DS would otherwise do. Up until 11.8, this solution worked fine and there were no server-side checks of the ticket. This changed in 11.8 as NIM was updated to send two headers whenever a download request is made to the Nintendo CDN. These two new headers are X authentication key and X authentication data. X authentication data is the ticket installed on the console, encrypted, and X authentication key is the AES key used to encrypt the X authentication data field. The CDN then decrypts the data field and checks the signature of the ticket. Since the ticket was made by Free Shop rather than by Nintendo, it fails the signature check and the CDN refuses to send the file. A brave member of the Nintendo Homebrew Discord installed one of these invalid tickets and attempted to download from the eShop, which would have worked fine on 11.7. and confirmed that it broke on 11.8 and that Nintendo was now verifying tickets. So what does this mean for the 3DS scene? Well, at least for now, users who enjoy free things will have to resort to more classical methods of downloading. Leave your ideas, thoughts and comments down below. Complaining Gamer's social media links are also there. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like. If you didn't, dislike. And to stay up to date with all things emulation, subscribe and hit that bell icon. I'll catch you in the next one.